just the exact amount that you would need to win in a normal game without overtime to manage to win this game. As now Leonski was bopping his phone to the screen this time. But we'll get ready to jump in with our bans. And the first ban from Mkers will be Nook, who was used quite heavily in map 1.
Nook was used, well, a lot actually. I think every single round she was available, she was brought out and utilised to great effect. We'll see that ban coming out, and the next up is going to be that Harbona. Again, hatches are very important on a map like this, so again, pulling them away, pulling that Harbona away, makes it a little bit more difficult and a little bit more time consuming to get those hatches where you want to use secondary harbour utility. An Ace, Thermite or Maverick gets a little bit harder. Azami, no real surprise to that one. When you see a Nook, you tend to see an Azami pulled away as well. This one's going to be a Kaid, Valkyrie, Mira. Those are my 3 picks. Almost, I guess, the top kind of 3 out of the top 4 band.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it probably might even be the Valk, which is, I actually delayed my words long enough there that I could get it right exactly as it happened, but it would be a Valk, which means that Kaid is in play again, and Kaid is an operator that Jaylings really struggled with in the last map. We've seen a lot of kills coming in from Gemini when using that shotgun, and the fact that we've seen some tricks come in as well. So, in a map like this, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mkers use them, but thankfully he decided to switch to the Kaid just as I finished my point again. We're all good.
I mean, the Kaid in play. Hopefully this time we don't see a team fumble the EMPs the way we saw Sorry and his friends do that one.
They won the round though.
Winning the round is all well and good, but when I have to watch an Ace, so 2 Selmas and an electrified wall, I'm going to start asking questions about what's going on in the thought process. But Mkers will go on to the basement for the very first side of the defense. Now, this is historically one of the hardest defensive sides to crack from the offensive perspective. And Jaylings, a team that has stylistically suffered on the offensive side on Oregon, which historically is, guess what, a defense-favoured map. This might be a little bit of a tall tasking, and considering that Mkers, when they get into that flow state, are a little bit of a handful to deal with, it could be a problem. And the fact that Mkers probably have already prepped Oregon because, well, guess what, Jaylings have shown this map.
Yeah, and it's a case for Jaylings where I think that they really need to stop the bleeding as well. They've lost 7 rounds in a row. Realistically, in Oregon, usually you get a 2-1 after 3 rounds, and that could be 9 potential rounds in a row that they could lose. So you get the feeling that when we always talk about the 7th round being the most important round in a game, I feel like round 1, even if Jaylings don't win it, they need to put in a very good performance.
Oh, they need to come out of the gates absolutely steaming. They cannot be slow. They cannot build into this game. They cannot decide to wake up later on. They need to come out of the gates absolutely swinging, and it looks like they're already doing that with a decent amount of control upstairs, already working on verticality to try and put some pressure on key rotation areas like that main lobby. And I like that, again, they're setting up a lot of options for themselves, but one thing I will draw on is they are quite alone. They are quite isolated with each other. They're not really playing in that buddied up system, and is this just an attempt to try and get as much map control as quickly as possible, or is this more of a change of style that they're going to try and take, is a little bit more in the face of what in the face of Mkers?
Little column A, little column B. I think they know the chances are there's not going to be too much of a roaming presence, so they've gone ahead and droned it. They've set up their flank drones as well, in case there's any late flanks up through Big Tower to come back down and around. And now, let's see if they can have an impact. It looks like they're pushing down through Laundry pretty quick, as Quick on cue will peek that way. Draw looks to take some freezer control now, as well as all of the push is coming from this direction. And now with some nades being tossed, will we see some aggression this way? The smoke grenade pops, blocking the line of sight in towards E-Box, and well, whip it.
Well, Lolo's going to be able to deal with this absolutely perfectly. A counter smoke goes into the toxic counter as well, it locks it down. Finally, they open up the hatch to give some access or the availability to fight for control inside of Freezer, and that's exactly what we'll see Draw now do. He's got that availability, so you know he can play deep now. With that hatch open, you have to fall deeper towards ice, and this long angle now becomes all that Draw has to worry about for the time being, and that's exactly what he'll do. Now, it looks like they've been forced very far back to Lomidus, will catch that first nade sent out by Quick, and everything gets a little bit tense up, and that perfect nade sent out by Akwe. Sent to Akwe, he gets caught up, but the trade is there. Gemini finds on the draw, and early advantage now sits with Mkers, but only technical one until that revive comes out.
Yeah, and that revive is going to come out now. Sam will begin pushing down as the smoke grenade has been thrown just to slow that push through Attic to buy their teammate time to get the res. But now the push has to come. Quick, aggressively pushing up, spots the leg. He's going to ping around the corner, gets one, gets two, Quick, gets himself a double now. Leonski, Turco adds one down. The diffuser is going down for Jaylings, something we rarely see. And Another gunfight, another one by Quick, and just like that, he just dismantles the attack.
They didn't want the case to go down. They simply did not want to get another defuse planted, and they got it down. But the way they went through that was absolutely perfect. The way they pushed into the map, they understood that Mkers were not going to play a significant roam presence. You don't need to on this site. So they went in a little bit more singly spread. They decided to get control, get all the map presence they wanted, and the way they worked that execution was perfect. They wanted to initially go on that smokes, on the 2 smokes that they popped, but guess what? They simply did not. What are you pointing out there, Gibby?
Quick's frozen.
Yeah, well, not on the server at least.
Maybe he's moving so fast that we can't see him.
Well, his name is Quick for a reason, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And he did pretty quickly move up into that spot as well to enable that plant.
Well, that's true. I mean, that was one of the best attacking rounds I've seen from Jaylings, and considering the site of which they done it on, absolutely fantastically done. And the fact is that they were not really afraid of the fact that they hadn't got that freezer pressure at the early stages of the round. Normally you want to see teams establish that first. That's the first thing teams will want to do. They enter in, normally from the west side, get control of security, and then open the hatch, and then begin to put player and pressure on this laundry and freezer push. They just said, let's put pressure on laundry, then worry about freezer, and it worked out absolutely perfectly. Well done from Jaylings. No faults in that execution.
I'm going to make a brave call.
Oh, go for it.
I think that the reason Quick closed that gap so quick was whenever they lost the player, they popped up the scoreboard, noticed the fact that they got the points for the down, and were like, right, there has to be a res going on here. So that opportunity, that window is there for you to push up and make that. I'm going to guess that that's what happened. Or maybe I'm overthinking it.
That was a 4K for Quick as well. Like, let's not lower this down. That's a 4K. On the opening, you know what? Jaylings have decided absolute vengeance coursing through their veins. They want to get this series tied up and shoot it out on Bank, which will be a scary endeavour, considering how good Mkers have been there in the past. But once again, look at this very fast and efficient entryway from Jaylings, wasting no time at all. Oh, Quick's already inside of meeting. So they're pretty much aware, and this is to me ringing like a team that's prepared very well for what Mkers like to do. Mkers don't like to roam very significantly, so they know they can take these extra few risks, get this map control, and do it in a very timely fashion, meaning the quicker you get this control, the quicker you have, or the more time you have to work your execution.
Yeah, I like the way that they're actually increasing the tempo, increasing the pace, as you would say, and clearing this map, because Oregon does a lot of ground space to actually drone out and work out if there's any defenders in the area. So now they're changing it up. They're going to open that hatch once more. But you look at the little changes the Mkers have made. They've brought the mirror this time around, and they've boarded up that laundry door just to give them that little bit more intel, as Draw will begin to push down through freezer, which will also be spottable by that second mirror window.
So now the problem you have, of course, with the mirror windows in play is that without a hub on, you can't deal with them from range. So you're really forced to try and use your smoke utility to try and get closer to it. But unfortunately, guess what Lolo is? He's on that ward, and he'll turn on his goggles, and he'll be able to choke you out with that one. And guess what? He's even playing behind the mirror window for an extra little bit of cover. Akwi tucked in as well inside of Chala, in a good position, as well as, I mean, the player inside of Ice locking it down. A rotation's been called. Quick will now try and put pressure inside of Blue and security, as well as backstairs getting applied by that sledge. So a call of a rotation's been made by Jaylings, and that's all from those mirror windows getting spotted out.
Yeah, and now Draw will push down backstairs, and if he knows that Sorry is in position, he's actually got the perfect utility to clear it. He's got 2 nades, he can bounce it off the wall and drop it right onto Sorry's feet, but he needs to be careful. Dora is going to get a kill with a shotgun, but he will be knocked the other way, which will force a res. Lolo will find the kill onto Sam. Sorry takes down Draw, as we see Jaylings desperately trying to take advantage of the knock, and that will be C4 popping. Leonski gets one, then he's taken down by Queen. The kill feed lights up in a rainbow of colours, but in the end, Mkers win.
A round almost akin to 2 heavyweight boxers going absolutely at it for the final round. They point to the ground and decide to swing hell for leather with that one. Both teams trading massive blows, but ultimately Mkers come out on top of that one. Jaylings, a good decision made for that rotation. They did not have the operators to deal with that mirror setup, so they decided, yeah, let's just go for a backside push. Did not work out at all, because guess what? They got that opening pick, they got the opening down on the player inside of security, or inside of elbow, I should say. They couldn't get that follow-up. They got a little bit too overzealous for that pick, and ultimately when Lolo got that trade back, got the revive, everything spiraled from that position, and they didn't clear the person in Harry Potter or have solid information that they were even there. And they're also restricted. I don't even think they had E-box hatch open, so they couldn't try and force down a drop in the late stages. So they used what they had to work with. Mkers were just able to play a little bit more reactive and get those, victorious gunfights to get that round, and everything's back level, 1 round apiece.
And you know what? I'm okay with what happened on elbow from both sides.
Yeah,
the call came out to say that a player was downed, and Sam was like, do you know what? I'm going to try take advantage of it. But the decision by Mkers to bait the res and send another player to hold the push through elbow was a fantastic call that I think maybe caught Sam by a little bit of surprise. But had Mkers not been as quick to that reaction, we could have been looking at a Jaylings round 1 there. So, 2 rounds down, and we've seen much better attacks from Jaylings, but we've still not seen a plant.
Right, let's start a counter for this map. How many plants will we see Jaylings do in the remaining rounds? 0? Okay, right. You didn't say that to the course listener. You give me a nice little hand symbol. Like, yeah, it's absolutely 0. All right, Gibby says 0. I say they'll get 1 plant down. So, in that round, what we just saw from that top down was the fact that they're setting up a pretty significant defense inside of security. All as well as reinforced, so they're trying to play for that C4 down below. That little pocket of resistance that you can set up is so difficult to clear and so influential. If Jaylings do anything, the steps on vertical control without clearing the bottom, they're at risk of those C4s, and so far it looks like a direct push into the master bedroom is on the agenda for draw at least.
Yeah, and they're using those mute jammers to really protect the player playing in this trophy position as well. You've got one blocking the drones to the door, but draw will dodge that one. But as you move to the next throw, Lucky will push in and shoot it. Gemini's got one of those on the door looking towards Armory as well. So this position is a really strong one now. Sam will push in with the Flores. Draw gets the kill with a Quee though, and that potentially opens up a little bit to play with.
That's a really interesting first loss, okay? So you lost your pulse, that's not the biggest deal. Quick will find a second one now on the door, but you had someone inside a trophy designed to lock that down. Quick's just inside of sight. He waltzes on in, he doesn't look the trophy. He should be able to get this one, but no shutdown by Gemini, but the trade is there from Draw. 4 versus 2, we get a 3 versus 2 now. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Sorry gets 2 in rapid succession, but leaving Lolo all alone. His teammate of Sorry is indeed, can get recovered, but the likelihood is with all Jaylings swarming around, so that's not going to happen, and the case is going down. Surely they're going to be able to stick this one up, but no, the C4 is going to arrive just in time, shuts it down to 1v1. Turco has no idea where this player will rotate. He knows he's at least down below, but the case is now dropped and cold. The shotgun lurking down below. Oh, the Osa. So lucky and gonna win it out anyway. Turco finds it. No case required, no plant needed. Turco can calm the nerves, steer the ship the right way, and get it done. Jaylings find their second.
They threatened it though.
1 second away. 1 second.
They nearly got the case down, and that was another round like the other two where we speak really fast with it. We do, but neither of us could keep up with the kill feed that they were popping that quickly. But once again, how quickly Jaylings were able to get into sight that round. We nearly had a bit of siege timing. He swung towards trophy, didn't see the player, but there was backup. They were playing in each other's pocket, and they got the trade back the other way. Full control of the site. But this is a Jaylings every once in a while show you that they can be an incredibly efficient and dangerous attacking side.
This is what I want to see from them. Again, statistically, it's been their weaker side. And I'll lean on that just a little bit as my critique for them in this series. But this is very much a very strong performance from them. What I'll say for Mkers, though, in that round is, Akwi, on the pulse. What are you doing peeking that balcony? You have a cardiac sensor, you know what's going to happen, and you got someone in trophy watching with a DMR? Like, why peek that? Gemini's there to lock that down. He's no threat to you. That sledge on the balcony was no threat until you swing wide, and he swings wide and gives that a freebie. You lose that information, you lose that control, and guess what? With a rotation inside of that closet, they can walk in the site. And guess what Quick done? Walked in the site, took control, and unravel around from there. So, I mean, little things like that, and Jaylings took full advantage of that small mistake.
Yeah, he backed himself. It didn't quite work out. You know, he went 18 and 11. You can see maybe where the confidence came from, but this time, maybe not so much. But there will be a point in this game where Quee will make a decision like that will have a big impact and a round one for Mkers. Now, Quee went for that sort of a peek again as he tried to catch a player on the rappel. Ain't going to happen this time around, but he is going to play by the tower. And I don't think Ace knows you don't want to lose Ace. He spots the shoulder, but Quick gets the kill, and down goes a Quee again, and Mkers are being put on the back foot.
Absolutely critical opening pick there. You took away that alibi, so realistically Alibi's utility is down. The Bailiff's been used to make rotations, the shield's already in play, so the MX4 Storm is the key bit of utility remaining in this round for him. Akwi now off the boards, and guess what? Gemini's going to be able to find one back on the draw. A draw back for Jaylings, but doesn't matter. Sam's there to collect the pieces. They've got control of trophy and master bedroom now, and they've got themselves a key frontline avenue straight on the site. A minute 50 left to go, and Jaylings, the tempo of play they've set is absolutely breakneck, but can Sorry slow that down? A shield and a long angle facing trophy. They're trying to hold on to this area of control so badly, but someone outside a big window, and that's going to be Quick, might have a free vault in if the player inside of kids of Dora falters in any way, shape or form.
Well, they're trying to speedrun Oregon any percentage right now with the way they're going through this map, but the smoke will slow it down. Things have finally calmed a little bit inside this round as Mkers look to regroup. Now Quick will begin to push in through Attic. The Jaeger could cause a problem. The EDE will freeze the push, and that gives him the opportunity. Hip shots come out, but it ain't good enough as Sam will find the kill this time around. And now Lolo, playing on White Stairs, has a very important job. He does get the kill on Leonski. Traded back by Sam. Dora will find one. Turco gets the other. Jaylings win round 4, racing to an early 3-1 round win, and still no case.
Absolute vengeance coursing through their veins right now. They are not happy about the result of Skyscraper, so you know what? Let's absolutely run through Mkers on Oregon. Why not? And you know what? Look how strong Mkers were against M&M Academy on this map. This is not the Mkers that we saw. And you know what I think this is? Jaylings have seen, they have learned, and they have prepared. The Italian Goliaths look to be a little bit vulnerable right now. If it bleeds, they can kill it. And you tell you what, Jaylings have certainly opened up a cut.
They've won 4 rounds on attack through the 2 maps so far. And all of them have come from this fast, aggressive approach. Whenever they try to slow things down, it doesn't work. And when you're a very structured side like Mkers, the one thing that you don't want is a team to push you really hard and fast and give you the opportunity to have that little talk in the middle of the round and adjust.
I mean, this is a perfect example of why Jaylings' kind of interesting style works out, right? They are a team that can go from this super slow, structured, burn utilities, try and sit and wait and be passive style of play, to this. This is aggressive. This is more akin to what you'd want to see. Look at the swap. Look at how many operas they just swapped out. Let's bring the perfect lineup. Let's bring an Osa. Let's bring a Ying. And the Ying, to me, on this site means something's going to happen pretty quickly with those Candelas. And considering where they've spawned, we won't have to wait too long for it. But Jaylings can go from a slow, methodical team to absolutely breakneck pace, and I love them for it.
Yeah, and you feel like the Osa will be a direct counter to that Mira as well, using that shield to just take ground, which is something that they can't do whenever you've got the Hibana in the back pocket when you don't have a Hibana because it's banned. So Leonski will drone out Big Tower, realise it's free. Sam gets a ping on one of those defensive players as well that is prone, and Leonski will continue to drone down as he starts to take control. But it looks like the push this time will be focused on that back side of the map where the Mira windows will not have as big of an impact because they're focused solely on the freezer laundry push.
Relocation of those ADSs, moving them away to a more keen position. I think they just sent an impact to clear a drone. But I mean, that drone can sit so recessed back you can't shoot it with a bullet, and it can give you a lot of information to the player inside of elbow. So I guess kind of a worthwhile trade, I guess. When you have an Osa to deal with, perhaps not, considering it can be very difficult to clear away those shields, and Osa has 2 of them to deal with. Turco now pushing inside of meeting control and giving it for essentially free. Now, they're a little bit more cautious this time around because a different strategy has been deployed. I have a feeling, a sneaking suspicion, that they're going to open up that E-box hatch and they're going to try and get very, very aggressive and very, very direct towards it, with one player lurking outside of blue to catch a rotation inside of elbow. And it's almost like clockwork to begin to make that happen.
Well, Ying is going to drop those Candelas down to pillar, so Aki and Sorry need to be very, very careful. Osa is going to get taken down, trying to put that, so there goes Leonski. That's a vital piece of the puzzle removed. Sam will still dance around the hatch, looking to catch the player that's in the position, as Quick now finds himself rowing upstream without a paddle as he plays on those back stairs. Turco looking to take construction now as well. Tosses the stun grenades. Now the my discs will have a bit of an impact, and the peak will come. The ping comes out. He's going to swing it, but Sorry gets the kill. The drop will be taken down. Quick will manage to get one before being traded back the other way, and it is all down to Sam, who will toss the Candela, pushes down backstairs, but you get the feeling everybody's going to be peeking this direction, and well, what a good repel of that push as well. I think what happened was, the thing that broke that attack up was maybe he slipped his finger on the mouse, but that shield from Leonski was being put into the back pocket again, and he got taken down.
Unfortunate timing with that one. Realistically, what they were trying to do there is have Leonski be a sentinel on that position, lock down that Talon shield, and just sit and try and pick off people, as guess what? The chaos from Candelas unfold. You throw a couple of smoke grenades, you throw a couple of Candelas, and Sam and Quick decide to go in and have an absolute blast. Now, without that Osa on Overwatch, things get a little bit more difficult, and you have to relocate resources, so Mkers will get that round, but realistically, you'd expect them to be able to win that basement defense more often than not. That's just the way the numbers tend to roll. But round number 6, Jaylings will want to get this 4-2 split, and that will almost be absolutely to the script of how Oregon tends to play out anyway.
Well, if Jaylings get a 4-2 split, you feel like they're going to win this map with how they play on defense.
You'd want to hope so. You would really want to hope so for their sake.
and they could do with it. The quicker that, if they need to win this game anyway, because this is the second game of the best of 3, but the quicker they can win it, the more confidence it'll give them, because that last game, they don't want to dwell on it for too long, because they're going to start thinking the same thing might happen again. You know, that little bit of doubt will crawl back in. You know, the door was opened fully into Quick's room the last time with that little goblin making his way on out. Well, he was a demon at that point as they lost 7 rounds in a row. But now we're going to a site with it that people would class as the tertiary one, the kitchen dining site. Key to that is holding the top floor. The key to Jaylings so far is just being fast and furious with their attacks. Dare I say, get that breach open pretty quickly and make a move?
I would agree with that one. I think realistically, Jaylings need to be pretty aggressive in this. It's worked out for them so far. They've been in the face of Mkers. They've been able to apply pressure. Some of those rounds, Mkers have made small mistakes. I mean, Aqui and that pulse is one I'm going to keep drawing to. The Jaylings, oh no. Oh no, Aqui. You don't want to make another mistake, do you? That alibi pings on. Oh, he's going to go all the way. No. There's a player with the van. He doesn't know. He's going to cut off. Surely, yes, he is. Leonski shuts him down. You should expect that one. Oh, look at that! Jaylings find 3, just like that. It's down to 5 versus 2. Absolute shambles from the side of Mkers. It all unravels so quickly. Lola will triumph at a long angle with SMG-11, but this is almost tempting fate now. One will peek wide, and that's going to be a horrible position. But shut down. That will be quick. Finished off with that pistol. Lola will fall back to sight, but essentially damage done at this point. You would have to need a Galilean effort to try and get this one back. 2 minutes remain.
They've got kitchen control. They have full control of that site. Leonski has the diffuser. Whether or not he will tempt us, will they plant, will be something we will be yet to see. But Gemini is playing around security. Draw is in position to catch that rotate back to site. But Gemini is going to retake the top floor. Pushes up the top white. There's no clue there that he's on the move. He's going to potentially get one, but no, Sam shuts him down with the AK-12, and it is all down to Lolo, the one-man army. But he's playing by that freezer corridor. He's going to spray one as he gets into this gunfight. He's daring the second player to push around, but Draw keeps on going. Jaylings win the round, and they have got 4 on attack.
4-2 split. Demo said it. That's how you see Oregon going. What?
No plants.
You were right, actually. No plants. All right, continuing the trend of no plants for the side of Jaylings, they get themselves in a very, very good position. If the numbers say they will, but of course we all know the server is a different story.
It is, but on defense so far, they've put on an incredible showing. They really have. So what, they've lost 2 defensive rounds so far, including the overtime in the last game. So 1 in overtime, 1 in regulation, as they took that 5-1 split. So history and the maths will tell you that Jaylings should be able to clutch this one out. 3-3 is the sort of split you expect to see in Oregon these days. And a 3-3 split would win this for Jaylings.
True, it would actually.
So they're in a good spot. Mkers need to win 4 rounds on attack, and 4 rounds on attack on Oregon can be incredibly difficult to do. We saw a little bit of chat on the desk about bringing new operators to the new meta, and one of it was bringing Ying. We've seen a lot of it from Jaylings last time around. Mkers are going to bring the Ying this time, 3rd time lucky this time, and well, I think that this could have a big impact on the round if used correctly.
We saw a lot of repick there, by the way, as well.
Again.
They toyed with the idea of bringing Capital. Now, I wouldn't actually say, I wouldn't be disagreeing with that one, actually, at all. And we will see if they would disagree with that one. But I think he's one of the strongest operators in the game, actually. The utility he brings is absolutely unmatched.
Hard breach. Flames.
Flames.
Yeah.
Clear, he can area control.
Fast.
True. Decent gun. Not bad up. But of course, not to deal with the lineup that we already have ahead of us. And I'm actually very much agree with Dora not taking the Maverick. I don't think Maverick would have been the wisest of choices here. You can bring secondary hard reach utility, and the opening pick's going to go for quick. No, it's not. Nope, yeah, maybe.
Come
on, quick. There we go.
Yeah.
I said it, so he has to get it done for me. Thank you very much, quick, for that one. And the opening pick goes in favour of Jaylings, and they're going to be very keen for that one. As he's going to find a second one. Watch this, right? Sorry's going to toss this one out as Aqui gets one on the draw. I was too bold with my predictions.
You were. You got a bit ahead of yourself there, but you really did.
I read the script, I forgot it changed.
But still, that standoff has just ended because Sorry's afraid of a player going up from the flank. Quick has repositioned himself as well, and with Quick playing the Oryx, he can drop down the hatch or get back up as he pleases. He's going to be a problem for Mkers, but now the gunfight's going to kick off, and he is going to win it. Oh, Sorry wins that one as Quick is going to fall, but he's now 1 HP and a dream. It's a 4 versus 3. Sorry is a sneeze away from death, and Leonski is going to play the discount D-Pack role. They were teammates once.
I was thinking, I didn't want to say it, I didn't want to say, but you've opened the door now, so we can say it now, of course. But on that roll, that Deepak has popularised in recent memory of that Echo in play. Very strong, high-impact operator. Gemini drone drops on in, but guess what? Won't be able to clear that gate, and that was probably the intention behind it. So they'll have to force a bit harder utility now to do so, and that's not going to be ideal. And I think a rotation's being called. They've droned ahead, they spotted out a potential threat, or they realised that camera's watching. 2 Selma charges open up E-box hatch, and that is essentially what they now are forced to commit to. Sorry, we'll try and gain control of backstage and will force their way down the staircase. Less than a minute to work with, and Jaylings, well, they have one less player, but they have all power positions still in their favour. A couple of gunfights in their way, going their way, could sway this round critically.
Yeah, 4 nades in the pocket of Mkers if they want to use it, but only 1 drone. Their intel has been completely shut cold, so they're going to send the Gemini replicator to clear the first of those the Rooney gates. So now that'll give the opportunity for those Candelas to pop off. Leonski's forced back in towards elbow. Another one is going to go. Turco will sing out that song as he gets himself a triple with the Mark 14. And now, sorry, we'll push up onto elbow. Turco gets the quad and we move on. And Will, you ever wonder why they gave that man a shield?
Why put him on Monty when he can do that one? But as I said, a few gunfights go the way of Jaylings, or Turco in this case. They can win the round.
I talked about the discount Deepak. Well, then we had a little Onigiri replica there going on.
Do you know what? For once, a reference that actually went over my head. I forgot.
You forgot that Onigiri is good with DMRs.
That is true.
How many times have people sat in this exact desk and talked about how good Onigiri is with DMRs?
A lot.
I'm disappointed in you. As Mkers are disappointed with that round and they take a tack time out.
Better than rehost. So at least we can get back in the action in 22 seconds time. So that has forced not rehost. Words are hard sometimes. a tactical timeout for them. They are now trying to reset after that one because Turco just, well, kind of won that round by himself. 4K right in the death. That's a pretty hard pill to swallow, if I do say so myself. And considering that they were in a very good position to win that attack, they had all utility, they had themselves in a good position. They let 1 player run rampage. Time to reset.
Oh, the coach looks animated in that tack timeout.
I would be as well.
So, now they're on. They've got scoreline of 5-2. If they win the next round, does that 1 round mentality kick in again for Jaylings, or do you think because this is defense and this is their bread and butter that they're just going to get off it? Because I'm going to say it, for Jaylings and for the sake of this fixture, if they are to win this map, I really want to them to win it quickly, because if Mkers start making a run back and Jaylings somehow scrape it on the last round of regulation, they're still not going to be feeling in a great place mentally. You want to get this win as soon as possible. For
Jaylings, is at least meant from outside looking in mental perspective, yeah, they want to get this done quickly. I think everyone wants to get this done quickly for their own fatigue's sake, right? Mm-hmm. They don't want to be going into a 3rd map after 2 overtimes, right? If they get that is going to be a massive drain, and that's when, things begin to get harder. Mechanics begin to slip, mistakes are easier made, and then you really get to that kind of wild west of a round or a map, and well, that's also what Jaylings don't want, is that.
For Turco to DC.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate, but at least it happened in the prep phase so that he can get a rehost and back into the game.
So, not great. Let's consider that as an opening pick in favour of Mkers. And, I mean, it was too late, I believe, in the round, and I think there was damage taken, so of course we can't rehost under those rule sets. So, unfortunately, play to the whistle for the side of Jaylings, and Mkers, I guess, take full advantage of it. Play to the whistle, you may as well.
Now, let's hope for Jaylings' sake that doesn't have an impact on this game. Let's hope that doesn't start things going the wrong way, because it could. So for them, try to win this round in a 4 versus 5. Quick has taken a lot of damage in this situation as well with the Alibi, but with Alibi still alive on the server, there can be a lot that they can do. So Draw will be forced to play Trophy. Now, the big problem is, by losing that early pick, and not really getting a lot of utility down as well, they've lost a vital piece of that puzzle that is their defense.
This is a difficult position for both teams a little bit, because you see someone disconnect and you instantly begin to think of it's going to be another stop, there's going to be a little bit of more of a delay into it, and it's going to be a start-stop in the middle of the game. Now, of course, very little delay in this one, but play to the whistle. The players have to adapt and react and do so. And for Jaylings right now, you're a player down, no fault your own, treat it like he got picked from a wall early or something like that. How do you delay this? How do you make this round go in your favour? Well, you need to get that pick back, and you need to try and delay as much time as possible. Look top of your screen, there's only 1:15 left to go, so time aspect, that's going well so far. And I tell you what, Draw might have just got himself in an absolutely prime position. He'll swing wide, he won't get one, he won't even get 2. Dora and Akwi get one of their own. Leonski now push further back inside of Kids. A minute left in this round, and 5 versus 2 in favor of Mkers. This begins to get a little bit troublesome for the side of Jaylings. The Gemini Replicator, though, only gets caught out by him and Sam down on white stairs.
Yeah, now it's all down to Leonski in the 1v5. Going to get taken down, and they are made to pay for that DC. Now, they are going to pause just to make sure the Turco can get back in the game. The play the
aggressive, try and get that opening early pick twice, and then try and play like a normal round for that stage on. But of course, I mean, we can't. This is obviously going to be a massive effect on the team. There's no other way to play it. They are a player down. They are Turco down. That is huge. He was one of the most influential players on this side throughout this series so far, and now, well, he'll have one less gun in the Symphony.
So to describe the scenario up, I suppose, to a racing fan, it's like having a safety car in the last couple of laps, and you're on old tyres while you're leading the race.
Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar indeed.
Let's see if Mkers can repeat the past, or whether Jaylings will be able to hold on and limp over the finish line, and hope that Turco will be able to get back into this one as soon as possible. Now, losing a player on defence has a massive impact. You spoke about the fact that they're now a gun down, but they're also a bit of utility down. That's less utility that they can bring. It changes the complexity and the site setup of every single site that they are going to play.
I mean, this is going to force them into a way more restricted style of play. They cannot play utility style of play, because guess what? You've just got simply less utility. Now, let's look what they've brought. They have toxic canisters and quick. Oh no.
He had to try, though.
He has to. I mean, this is the duality of the situation. Jaylings have to play aggressive. They have to try and get these early picks. And guess what? Mkers understand. Mkers know that they were going to try and get these early picks so they can play aggressively around it. And unfortunately, well, that double-sided coin has fallen the side of Mkers in that early advantage. So they find themselves in 5v3 very early in this one. And from this, they're going to likely just control the pace and tempo of the rest of this matchup. Or round, I should say. So
Sam will play around in the basement. So they're sticking or electing to stick with a roaming game on this site, which is something you can do. One player on the bottom floor. Sam spots that Osa shield being popped, so he will use his smoke to just force Osa further back on up. Now, Sam gets a little bit aggressive, takes a little bit of a lead back the other way, but now the Lion will pop, freezing the Jaylings defenders in spot. It's a 5 versus 3, but the operators that they have, you can tell by the setup they've taken, they've gone to delay. You've taken the Legion, they've taken the smoke. They're trying to make Mkers be a bit slower.
It's a little bit of a desperation act, realistically saying, and that's going to be Akwi finding one more pick on the Sam, leaving it in a 5 versus 2, and problems are only going to continue to grow. The Flores show will give themselves an access and avenue on the main stage. Draw still in a good position to try and gain control, and Leonski swings wide and gets one. And this could be a problem now if they over-aggress, which they might just do. No. Gemini gets it, and that's going to be 1, maybe 2 now. Draw has to find 2 more to get this round in his favour, and he's put himself in a very good position. The case is in a very difficult area to control indeed, and that Osa shield is going to be a nasty bit of cover to fight around as well, meaning they're going to be very compressed as they try and push up that staircase, and Draw's going to get 1 more. 3 in the round, 50 seconds. I'm starting to believe, Gibby, miracles do happen, and is Draw going to deliver that one?
If anyone can, Draw can, and what a position he is in to do so. He has got himself 3 kills on the round. The case is cold, as you pointed out as well, and he knows where Lolo roughly is. Lolo has 1 nade in the back pocket, and he's got 2 drones, and he's got plenty of time. So he's going to attempt to locate where the player is. He's thought to himself, maybe he's dropped his way back down to the basement, but that's not quite the way. He's going to check the top floor and put a drone to watch the way. No. Yeah, there you go. Put the drone there and try to identify where he pushes from.
Draw's been a ghost. He's crept and crawled his way around. He's repositioned, and he's going to be in a good position. His position's been compromised, but no! Lolo shuts it down. Hopes and dreams and my aspirations for heroic clutch have been shut down just like that. But Draw has given one little thing to every single fan of Jaylings. An ember of hope and dream. They can get this close. All they need is the opening pick to go in their favour, and they can win it. Draw single-handedly nearly clawed that round back from the absolute depths.
That was a chance.
And that's all they need. They need 1 more of those. Mkers get themselves in striking distance. They get themselves to a 4-5. Jaylings, this is the round you need to win. You need to get this round. 1 pick, 1 opening, 1 opportunity. And you put yourselves in the best possible site to do it. how many teams have won this site with 1 player down, 2 players down? The list is near countless. But can Mkers break it down? They have been so efficient on their offense so far. With one less moving piece to that puzzle, and maybe one gifted free kill from an over-aggressive swing, could all unravel it. But Jaylings, again, draw has lit an ember. There's a chance. There is a hope. There is a lifeline. There is a pulse.
And last time they were here, though, it was Turco with a DMR with a 4K that won the round out. So, if you're Mkers, you got to play the bad guy here. You got to try win this round as quickly as possible. You want to shorten the game as long as possible to try prevent that player from joining, because you know it's not their, it's not down to them to be good sports. Their job is to win this game, and that's what they're trying to do. For Jaylings, it's damage limitation. If you even lose the round, try to draw it out as long as possible. Buy as much time as you can. But however, if they get the open and pick, whip it, you just play the game as normal from that point on. So,
the only thing that I yawned there.
You did.
It's been a long day in the office. I'm sorry. It was an awkward one. As the handoff, the yawn started. It's like, will I finish this yawn in time, or will Gibby have to go? I cut you off. I apologise, but I've got to ramble about the video game now. As you said, 1 pick, you play the game as normal. Unfortunately, though, it's not going to work out that way, because the lineups you got to pick are going to be a little bit altered around that. You have to play in this certain style, and you're not going to see as delay heavy this time, because the structure, the map, the site they're on, and oh no, draw falters early. An opening pick goes in hands of sorry. Mkers will take that, and now they find themselves in what is a very, very winnable position, and Jaylings have went for an aggressive style of play that ultimately has seemingly backfired on them for the time being.
Well, they have to. Again, I hate to say this, but when you're in this position, you gotta try get the fields level as quick as possible. Leonski still alive down in the basement as well, down in and around that construction position. The hatch is still reinforced, as everybody else will now turtle back to site. You get the feeling this fight between Gemini, if he elects to go down to Sam, could be a very big one. But look at Quick rotating back on up, but he's going to get droned, and that's going to force him back down, and that's another opportunity gone. But it's a level of professionalism from Mkers. They know they've got the numerical advantage, 5v3, but they're not forgetting to do the basics, which is drone out the defenders.
If they skip these basic steps, like droning, checking corners, all these small things, that's going to give an opening. Yes, I mean, this is the ultimate underdog fight now. Jaylings, they've been billed as it for so many times. Can they now try and scrap their way? Minute left in this round. That's the last Lion Scan now used as well. Candela is sent in to try and blind out the enemies. Leonski's eyes will burn for a brief moment, but Sam will get 1 pick on the Gemini. Give it opening, give it a chance, and he's on a deep roam upstairs. He doesn't know what to lie, much of it he does now. Sam peeks out wide. He doesn't lose his life for the time being, so this could be huge. He tries to play it down, strike the devil, and he gets it! Sam will find 1 more. It's going to be a 3 versus 3, and everything opens up now. 1 drop instead of E-Box, that will be the Ying. Suppressed LMG will try and tap away, look for someone through the wall with 30 seconds, and all of a sudden, this looks winnable. The Smokehouse can delay and choke this push out. Only 1 of them now will be effective as one. The first one throws out, missed. 20 seconds, Gibby. Who can clutch this one out?
Don't let Lolo hold the cross. Don't give them the opportunity to lock down the site, because Lolo now, he can hold the swing in on the diffuser, so you need to clear him away from that position. Dora's going to get taken down. The case goes cold. Jaylings at a 3v2. Leonski makes it a 3v1. Leonski gets the kill, and Jaylings move to match point, and that is huge. The underdog.
We talk about a man who's able to always find a way to go big for his team. Leonski manages to find a way. 3k to close it out. And guess what? That puts Jaylings onto map point in this series. They now have an absolute lifeline. They now have 2 rounds to win this out in regulation. And they have a reset inside of overtime. The underdogs, can they get it done? What a storyline this would be. You can almost see the Reddit post about it now if they can get across this hurdle. But Mkers, well, they won't go quietly in this one. But 1 round, that's all they need.
I would say, as of right now, every single member of production and every single fan who is not a Mkers fan want Jaylings to cross the line with this one. I'm not going to lie. I want Jaylings to win this map because they're in the 4v5. We want the underdog to get the win. Don't worry. As Whippet said the last day, that 5 versus 3 at the top, that's wrong. It's a 5v4 at the start of the game.
It's not a 5v3 yet.
Not yet. No, Jaylings bounced back from a 5v3 last time around because of a big play from Sam. He got the double up on the top floor, and that enabled them to go on and get the round. Expect the same aggression. They've got 2 chances at match point, but they only need to win 1 of these rounds. They're a defensive team, and this is technically a defense-favoured map. So, if you're a stats person, you'd nearly say that the odds are even at 50-50 with all of those maths put together.
Numbers?
You're thinking about it.
So,
you're thinking about it.
Numbers, me, broadcast, not a good mix, actually. So I won't even dabble. I can barely count to 10. So, I mean, the fact I can remember 12 rounds as regulation is a pretty good miracle.
Yeah, but that's just been beaten into you by years of working in the scene. So, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this round. Jaylings on match point. They're playing this site. They're in aggressive positions once more with 2 players playing in and around the chassis inside of kitchen. Quick. You know, there's another thing. Site setup when you've got a less player takes a little bit longer, as only now they're able to open that hatch. But the position that they're in now, Alibi has to play the turtle role on site with that weapon because they're numerically challenged.
Flores shown caught out by Sam there. Shoots it out before it can detonate, clearing utility. As you said, exactly right. They can't play an aggressive role with that Alibi because, well, best player is on site and sorry. That's the opening pick once again. Quick falters. That is that Alibi. As we mentioned, the MX4 Storm now gone. Now falls quiet. Once again, 5v3. Jaylings have fought their way back from this position once before. Can they do it again? Minute 30 left to work with, but this is going to be a very tricky one. His draw is far away from the side, and they do seem a little bit spread away. They can't help each other. They can't move as a unit. They're all relying on winning their ones. So, Akui will push up onto that green window and have a little look to catch one of those Jaylings players as they get aggressive and push towards big towers. But we've got a bit of a stall. There will go the hard breach as they begin to open up that wall that goes in towards meeting. Sam is going to get aggressive. He chucks the C4, but there's nobody there as that utility is wasted and his position has slightly been betrayed by the use of that utility. Gets rid of the drone. Draw takes a massive chunk of damage there from the nade, but he gets himself in position and in comes the drone. Leonski getting aggressive too, trying to watch their back, but you feel like the push is going to be coming very shortly. Sam drops, and will he be able to rotate up behind this attack? They got one player halfway up the stairs, which could be his bane of existence right now. What a deep push, and Leonski gets one more. Akui falls. Sam's still on that roam as well. The nade goes deep as well. If Sam pops up, this could be huge. They know about him now. The flashbang will deter him for the time being. The case goes down. No denial this time. It goes down, sorry, gets on the draw, leaving it in the 2 versus 4. Sam and Leonski now just Sam alone. Full HP to work with an AUG in hand. They know exactly where he is. He has to move. He has to pounce. He's running out of time, but he's against 4. They have him locked down, surely. Damage taken, position known and compromised. And Gibby, it's safe to say, we'll have to go one more round. Well, it looks that way. He will get one, which will delay the time a little longer. If I was Sam at this point, I'd probably maybe consider eating as much time as he can. That's what he's going to do. He's going to stay alive and see if Turco can potentially get back into the game. Every second matters. So, there we go. It's going to go every single round in regulation. Guaranteed. Will Jaylings be able to win the final round and just get themselves a map? Or are Mkers going to take advantage of what's been given and bring us to overtime and finish it from there? What are you hoping for, Gibby? I want Jaylings to win. Okay. I'm getting, Demo doesn't agree with me over on the side. Tactical timeout now for Jaylings. Maybe this may give him the opportunity to get in. But when you consider the situation that they're in, this is so deflating for them because they started this game so good. They were brilliant on attack. They took a 4-2 split. They looked solid on defense. And then they are one of the most cursed teams, I think it's safe to say. They've had to play a tremendous amount with their coach. They've had subs filling in and all throughout their run. It's been a difficult one for them, I will have to say. Mm-hmm. So, this tactical timeout, it is a good time to use it considering everything that's gone on. This is simple. Win this round, win the map, and give yourself an opportunity going in. For Mkers, as we pointed out, they win this round, they take it to overtime, and you feel like if they get it to overtime, that's it done. That's the series over. So this is really last chance saloon for Jaylings in this fixture. Yeah, I would say kind of it's do or die right now. Win this round, get this map done, get it over and dusted, and then you'll have a little bit of time and you hope Turco reconnects, because there is going to be nothing more demoralising than going into the last map of a best of 3, which has been a long best of 3, may I remind you. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone at home is very fully aware of how long this best of 3 has been. And well, to go in with one player down from the get-go, that's going to be a hard place to be.
Well, it sounds like it's time to jump on in for this vital map, for this vital round for Jaylings, and they're going to take it to the exact same site. So this is the site that they feel most confident playing out of the ones that are available in this situation. So you think about the way that Mkers won this round the last time. They didn't focus on clearing the rest of the map. Their sole focus was on taking Big Tower, getting the breach open, and just using the ability to trade your way to victory, to force and strong arm your way into sight to win the round. Now, do Jaylings think that that's the fact that what happened when they took that break and try to meet them head on? Or do they fall back and hope to get themselves in good enough positions that whenever those long range encounters come in that they can win them?
I don't know. I actually don't know, because everything is a little bit thrown out the window with Turco gone. This is not a normal game of Siege anymore. This is its own thing, its own spectacle, its own unique endeavour, I suppose, a show match almost, but with a lot of stakes in the line. Yeah, I say, give me yes. We've done a lot of show match in front of you ever again. We've had our fair experience with some, but the Repel Maker's going to take control of Big Tower. They will try and move on and get some progression from there. Now, I'm not gonna. Oh, he's in. Okay.
There we go. There was a little bit of a chill on the windowsill there for a moment, but eventually he makes his way inside of the map, as now they'll begin droning. You've got the numerical advantage, so just try to work out where the defense is weak, what way Jaylings are trying to win this one in the 5 versus 4 scenario. There's one cam down as Jaeger's position has been revealed. Sam still doing some site setup late into this one, as it looks like they're just going to reinforce off that side of the map and try to focus on the push that will be coming from that big tower side. There's Attic open now, so Quick will go and just check his flank to make sure that nobody's coming in from behind, because he does not want to fight 2 battles at once. That Pixel, really good one for getting intel, and he's making the floor a little bit more open plan. But look where Akui is waiting now, sitting in the corner by the bunk bed. He's got a drone to give him intel as well. And Draw needs, if they lose one, they need the refrag in this position. But there's a key to get one, but Quick gets the trade back the other way. 4 versus 3 now.
It's a difficult one to call. That opening pick, if that went in favour of Jaylings, you'd imagine this could be a very, very winnable situation to find yourself in. Minute left in this one, and Draw is looking for some way in, some way to get this to a level playing field. The exothermic charge opens up and breaches deep inside of stage. Leonski just trying to find an angle, waiting for someone to expose themselves, but he'll play a passive game for now. Vertical control inside of Anik is now lost. That hatch becomes a very dangerous point of contention. 45 seconds, and Makers begin to poise themselves for execution, but they're painfully aware of how potent Jaylings can be when you get them cornered. And Quick, oh no! He looks the wrong way. Lolo takes that freebie, and overtime seems to be calling.
Lolo gets the kill. It's a 4v1. It's all down to Leonski now as he faces what looks like an impossible task. Drone taken away. Utility now being thrown away as they look to flush him on the other side of maps as the case is going down. Gemini from the hatch gets the kill, and we are going to overtime. But, you know, you talk about the player getting caught in green. The Flores drone forced them to look behind them to try take it out, and they didn't waste any time whatsoever on pushing on that intel. They're the Makers are being the bad guys now, aren't they, in this scenario? I
mean, realistically, they're the bad guys if they win.
Yep.
No matter what they do in this one. It's an unfortunate one, but overtime. We arrived. 12 rounds. Not
some people like it when the baddies win.
Do you?
No, but I think Demo will like it. He's over there preparing for the post show.
He's rubbing his hands there, going, Maker's going to win. So his predictions are right then, at least. His pick'em's going to be good.
So, overtime, this is it now. For Jaylings, yes, you've got 2 defenses, but you are fighting with a hand behind your back. You're missing Turco now. You're playing that basement site, which is the site that you did win in the 5v4 a little bit earlier, thanks to some heroics from Leonski. They'll be looking to draw from that well once more, because, you know, miracles happen if they win this first round on defense. They're guaranteed 2 match points again. They put themselves back in with the opportunity.
It will be much easier for them to win on the defense. I mean, it's a hard one to say, right? The moment you lose this one player in this situation, things begin a little bit more unusual. I mean, On the offense, you can kind of justify that you can play it somewhere kind of close. Oh, someone got spawn peeked. You've seen teams come back from that one before. They're in a good position though, good sight, strong setup. They have a mirror window, and those mirror windows can do some of the lifting that the absent player couldn't do. So they have extra control, extra threat. And while those mirror windows might not be always manned because one less player, makers still have to think about it. That's going to be something that they will worry about and could slow them down. Time ultimately will be Jaylings' ultimate friend in this matchup.
So time can be their friend whenever they've got lots of enemies going for them right now in this scenario. Sorry, we'll begin to drone out the top floor again. It is a basement defense, but they don't want to get caught out by any Jaylings roamers. Draw creeping up white stairs, maybe hoping to find himself a bit of an engagement here as well, as Quick makes his way back down. And with the C4 hand, I can see what he's trying to do here, but the big issue is Gemini's coming from the other direction, and I can be sure his information is Quick. Almost gets taken out, but he stays in the fight.
He retreats very far back as well, puts a wooden barricade down in place, and Draw, well, he swings out wide, and he's going to get caught by the air jab. That C4 catches the air jab, so wasn't for nothing. Doesn't get a pick at least, but not going to be an ideal trade of utility for that one. But nonetheless, they're going to burn away more time, and again, the longer that they make Makers wait to make this execution, the better. The longer and more time that passes, the more pressure Makers feel, and the more comfortable Jaylings will get. One gunfight in the execution goes Jaylings' way, and the round could be theirs. The case is all the way inside of blue, so there'll be some pressure arriving from it as it will get collected now. The Flores will try and burn away utility and put some direct pressure on. Sam might toy with the idea of getting aggressive, but thinks better of it. Will fall deeper back. With a minute left to go, Makers begin to converge on the side.
Yeah, looks like they're going to send 3 down through back stairs moving into this one as everyone's in position now. Maybe they'll get that hatch open too as Ying will pop it open. We're going to see the Candela charges. That forces Leonski back into the bomb chassis where he had a massive impact a little bit earlier, but it opens up this playground now to come from. So Draw will hold the cross through the one potential breach. Leonski is going to get on the move now. The push coming down through Freezer as well, so they're not worried about the back. Lolo gets the opener, putting us in a 5v3. Quick spots the player and Freezer, and he makes it a 4v3, but Akui will take him down. Swing coming around, Quick gets one, pushing down through Freezer, but Dora is getting that to Case down. He's in a tight little corner. Can Quick prevent it? The Case is going to pop. He gets into the gunfight with Pillar. Lolo is going to win it and whip it. It's all down to Sam inside of E-Box, but it's probably too little too late.
A 1v3 that doesn't last long. Lolo shuts it down. Jaylings begin the fade. Match, map, and series point now with Makers. A very difficult job ahead. This is possibly the deepest trench I've ever seen a team get into. You are a player down. You are on the cusp of going to the lower bracket in a game that, realistically, you had control of. They looked in good form. But Makers now, it's their job to win. They have to take advantage of what's played ahead of them, and now they find themselves one round away from moving forward to face Wild, which, well, that's no real reward, is it?
It's not. And if you have any doubt, though, about the ability of Jaylings going into this game, it is gone. You look at the way that they have played, considering everything that's been thrown against them. They could if they lose this round, of course, because miracles do happen, but if they go to the lower bracket, they can 100% make a run there. They're a fantastic side. And look, once again, we're going to find maybe some people would argue that losing the opening pick when you're on attack in a normal round is maybe better than losing the opening pick on defense. It's all a matter of opinion. You know, I'm sure there's a stats person out there who has the exact stats for both sides of this one. But if Jaylings get the opener in this one, and they go through their checklist and they play this round like a normal attack and focus on the objectives that they need to do, we very well will go into that full overtime match point in a game that has gone to overtime twice.
I'm honestly struggling with words for this one. I'm almost at this point, it's in such a situation. I'm so intrigued. I wish you could sit down with my notebook and just watch and watch, because for Jaylings, this is the depths. This is the absolute trenches. They are at the bottom of the Marianas right now. And they are fighting against every single one. Look at the control they've already gathered there. We are mere seconds in, and they're knocking at the door. There's no roam presence from Makers, because why take a risk? Why overextend and give a freebie away to a team that needs a freebie so desperately? Sam is pushed deep inside of Freezer. Air jab's likely covering his retreat as well. One goes deep as well. No one swings wide vertically. Kind of locked in that position now as well. Drones a spot out to Gemini. TCSG in hand, a gun you don't want to brawl with. Sam can fight with an ARX, but they think better of it. Falling back, at least asking Draw to relocate and push somewhere else. The case in the hands of the player all the way by backstairs, so that might be where they're trying to make their entryway, but everyone from the Jaylings posting up. All set up as individuals right now, and they are trying to find one opening, poking, prodding, looking for a pick, looking for a chance, looking for a lifeline.
Well, now Sam is going to begin to get into that gunfight. The one thing that may go into their favour is the fact that they're against DMRs and single-fire weapons, but Akui will get the first one. You spoke about the diffuser, but of course this is Jaylings. Quick is going to get knocked down onto the ground. He's down, but he's not out. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. Akui is going to get very aggressive. He's going to catch them. That's two. That's a triple for Akui. And is he going to get the technical ace to win this one, to clutch this one out for Mkers? Well, it is all down to Leon now. Inside a freezer, Mkers, they're in a 5v1. They may play a little bit aggressive on this one, but it looks like the comeback dream is over for Jaylings, and they're more than likely going to end up in the lower bracket.
Well, at the end of the day, at least there's a lower bracket for them. It's not over and done with. The TCSG speaks wide. Gemini gets that final pick, and at the end of the day, we finally have it. Your victors! It will be Mkers. They get over the line, they finish off Jaylings and send them to the lower bracket. Mkers will now face Wild next week, and, well, Jaylings will have to go up and face off against Land Party Hotel. But I think there will forever be an asterisk on that game about what happened, what could have been if we had Turco to close it out. You gotta say, well, I'm so happy for Mkers and all their fans. They got themselves to the next round. They got themselves the upper bracket. I feel so bad for Jaylings for what happened. Unfortunately, gotta play to the whistle. That's just how things roll today.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate scenario for them. You can even tell by the celebrations from Mkers. They were a little bit muted because they understood the situation they were in. It was 5-1, I believe, was the scoreboard whenever that happened. So we'll always be wondering what if. But as we said, thankfully for Jaylings, their story is not finished just yet in Challenger League, as they do have the lower bracket to run through. But any final words before we throw it back to the desk?
I've got nothing really to say. I mean, there'll be an asterisk on that forever. I think it's unfortunate. Turco was a difference maker. He could have been huge. But alas, well, I can't wait to see what our desk will say. But before that, we'll go to a quick little